Welcome to Chapter 3, Lesson 6. The essential question for this chapter is, how are multiplication and division related? This lesson is about the associative property of multiplication. If you remember from addition what the associative property was like, the associative property would have been like this. 2 plus 3 plus 6 equals 6 plus 3 plus 2. And the associative property was about the order, who you associate with. Remember I talked to you about who do you go on the playground with first, in what order. Does it matter if the first kid and then the second and the third, you're all going to be on the playground. Same with if this kid goes first and these two walk together, you're all going to get there. Okay, so this problem would say to do parentheses first, so 3 plus 6 would be 9, and then add the 2. And on this side, you have to do the 3 and the 2 first, so that would be 5, and then plus the 6. 2 plus 9 equals 11, and 6 plus 5 equals 11. Okay, so this was the associative property of addition. Okay, now let's look at the associative property of multiplication. The associative property of multiplication shows that the way in which numbers are grouped does not change their product. Okay, so the difference there is the word product. Remember, product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Okay, let's look at the example. There are 2 video games in each value pack. There are 6 value packs in each box. If Raul buys 3 boxes for his collection, how many video games will he have? And you guys know I'm such a math nerd, so I did a little bit of drawing to explain this. Okay, so in a value pack, so one pack, there's 2 games, so I use a V. Okay, and there's 6 packs in a box. And then there's 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3. So you can see in here, here's my little value pack. Okay, in each box, there's 6. Okay, just like the problem. 2 video games in each pack, 6 packs in a box, 3 boxes. Okay? You can always draw your math out if it helps you visualize. If you find that you are getting lost in word problems, take the time and draw a picture. Okay. So you need to find 2 times 3 times 6. And there are 2 ways to group the numbers. Okay, so you could multiply the 2 and the 6 first. Okay, so remember there's 2 games, 6 packs, 3 boxes. So if you multiply the 2 and the 6 first, you're going to get 12, and then times 3. Okay, another way, you could do the 6 and the 3 first. 18 times 2. Now, this is a helpful hint. They're telling you how to get to this number. You could use repeated addition where you do 12 plus 12 plus 12 or 18 plus 18. Okay. How do you know which one to do? Well, actually it doesn't matter. It's really up to you. You get to pick. For me personally, 2 times 18 is not one of my multiplication facts. I never memorized that. So I'd probably go for this one. Either way, I know, though, that 12 plus 12 plus 12, or 12 times 3, equals 36. And I know that 2 times 18, or 18 plus 18, is still going to equal 36. That little critter visiting us today. Okay. So, Raul will have 36 video games. All right, let's flip to the back. first I want to talk to you about this word. This word is called order of operations, or PEMDAS. It's a way for you to remember what to do first in math. Okay, PEMDAS, the P is for parentheses. So that means whenever you see a problem with parentheses, you need to do what's inside the parentheses first. Okay, so it's saying use the associative property to find 9 times 2 times 4. And again, there's two ways. You could do the 9 times 2 first, okay, or the 2 times 4 first. 9 times 2 is 18. And then you do 18 times 4. Or you can do 2 times 4 first, which would be 8. And then you have 8 times 9. Now, they're saying it's easier to find 9 times 8 than 18 times 4. Okay? You might not think that, and if you want to do it this way, go for it. I personally would choose this because this is one of my multiplication facts. I know, I've memorized that 9 times 8 is 72. But this one would be pretty easy to do as well because I would say, okay, I have 4 tens, so that's 40. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 eights. 8 times 4 is 32. 40 plus 32 is 72. Again, this is where math gets fun because you get to pick. And helpful hint, parentheses tell you which numbers to multiply first, just like the order of operations. Okay, hold that thought for a second because today I'm going to talk to you about the essential question that's on page 170. Okay, so it's the same lesson. Okay, 170, but I want you to look at the essential question. Okay, it says, building on the essential question, how does the associative property of multiplication help you to calculate products mentally? And I'm going over this with you to help save time in class and make sure everyone has a solid quality answer. So how does the associative property of multiplication help you calculate products mentally? Okay, so you should use a sentence starter. Okay, it's very important. The associative property of multiplication okay, so everyone needs to have this to start out. Because it's saying, how does it help you? The associative property of multiplication helps me mentally, helps me by, okay, so you can finish it how you want. In my example, I wrote, I can use the associative property of multiplication to multiply in any order I like. I can start with numbers that are easy for me mentally. Okay? So I want you to finish this sentence. The associative property of multiplication helps me calculate products mentally by, and then talk about what does the associative property do. It allows you to pick the numbers that suit you best for your mind. Whichever one you want to do first, you multiply first. Okay? I'll look forward to seeing your answers in class. And we can't forget our little drawing. Let's draw these little kids today because I think they're pretty funny. Just like a crazy, tired-looking eye. that looks like a mustache. And maybe some arms. And they have their little video game controllers here. A little cord. The X and the Y and the little triangle button. Alright, you can get creative with it if you want. See you in class.